Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd share a recent fabric haul with you all from Minerva Crafts. So in a previous video I sorted through my fabric and basically said I have too much fabric and I need to use the stuff that I've got, and I need to stop accumulating new fabric, and I need to just stop buying stuff. So obviously what I then did when I got paid this month was to buy some more fabric, because that makes sense. I bought it from Minerva Crafts, which is a website that has a lot of fabric options. So there's a lot on there, which can be a bit overwhelming, but it does mean that there's tons of choice. And they have fabric stuff and sewing stuff and patterns, but then also like knitting stuff and haberdashery and like other kind of crafty things. So it's worth a look if you've not been on. So they have these kind of mystery bundles where you don't really know what you're going to get. So I ordered 2 of them. I've been thinking about it for a while and the reviews are kind of mixed, because obviously you don't know what you're going to get, meaning you may end up loving the fabric or not, depending on how kind of quirky or unusual it is. So I ordered the 5 meters of knit, which was $14.99, and then I got 2 meters of stretch wovens, which was $9.99. So stretch wovens were proportionally more expensive, and I was a bit curious about what they would turn out like. I've not really worked with stretch wovens before, so I thought I would just take the plunge and try. So they do say that they're not remnants and they're not seconds, but you can get anything from half meter of fabric or a continuous piece. So the 5 meters of knits could have been 10 half meters or 1 5 meter piece. So obviously if you get 1 5 meter piece, although it might be a bit boring, at least you can make a proper dress or something. Whereas if you get 10 half meters, it's a bit more restrictive. But it looks like I've got quite a bit of each of the fabrics. So starting with the stretch wovens, all the fabrics I got actually turned out to be quite neutral. I was expecting some like wacky animal prints or something weird, so I was slightly disappointed that I didn't get anything more unusual, but it would probably actually be a lot more useful for me to have these kind of more neutral colours. The other thing is that I don't know what any of the fabrics are. They didn't include an invoice, but I'm not sure that the invoice would actually tell me. It would have been nice if there'd been something in it, in the bundles, which said what each of the fabrics were, because then that would have helped me with my lack of knowledge of fabrics know what to do with them. So this is the first time that I've taken them out and looking at them properly. So this is the stretch woven, and this is a lightweight kind of a off-white colour, so like ivory maybe, and it has a little bit of stretch in it, and it kind of has like a shiny, slippy right side to it. So I guess you can make like a top or a blouse out of that, and that would be quite pretty. It's a little bit more delicate than perhaps I'm used to working with, so I'd have to be kind of careful about pinning and stuff. But that is one, and I assume that there's a meter of this. I've not, like I said, I've not taken them out, so I've not measured. But given that I've got 2 pieces, I'm assuming they're kind of a meter of each. So that's my first. It's so slippy, it's like slipping out of my hands. That's my first stretch woven, and then this other one is kind of this kind of beigey cream colour. It's a kind of a more rough texture, and again it has that bit of stretch. Again, it's reasonably lightweight. I think if you're going to make this into like a skirt, you'd want a lining probably, because I think it would be a bit see-through in the light. So yeah, I'm not sure what I would use this for, because I've not really worked with this fabric before. So those will go into my drawer, into my stash, for me to think about, like all the other fabric that I've got. So then onto the knit fabrics. So like I said, I got 5 meters of knits, but it looks like I've only got 4 different colorways. And again, I don't know what all of these are, but they kind of look like jersey apart from this one underneath. So this blue piece is very lightweight. It's like sheer really. If you can see my hands, hello. So that's quite thin, and it kind of has a, I don't know, slightly like rough texture to it, so it's not super soft. So I'm not sure what you would use that for. That in one is a little bit a little bit weird. Yeah, I don't know what you would use that for. I mean, I guess it's a knit, so I'm guessing it's stretchy. Oh, okay, it's stretched, but then it immediately laddered. So that might just be because I was a bit rough with it, but and also because this is an uncut edge. I mean, an unsalvaged edge. So yeah, that one's kind of a bit of a different type of fabric. Again, I really wish they'd put in what each of the fabrics were, because if you're not super savvy, like I'm not, you don't know what anything is. So these three seem more like straightforward jerseys. This one is a little bit different. It's not as soft as the other ones. It's obviously black and white stripe, and from the amount here, I'm guessing it's about 1 metre. So you might be able to get a top out of that. Oh, it looks like there's a bit of a dirty mark on it there. That's a shame. That looks like that some sellotape or something has been on it. So that's kind of a shame. I'll have to obviously inspect all of them properly, look for marks, and then they all go in the wash anyway before you start sewing. So again, it's a little bit stretchy, but not like a huge amount of stretch, just one direction. Yeah, so I can make like a top out of this. Perhaps, oh, the stripes are really doing something weird to my eyes, so I'm going to put that to one side. And then these two just look like straightforward jerseys, and I have a reasonable amount, so I'm thinking maybe I have, I'm not sure, like maybe 1.5 meters of each of these. I have to measure it. There's this like kind of a mustardy colour, which I do kind of like mustard, but it's hard to wear. I find yellow hard to wear, but this is a darker colour. Again, it's kind of lightweight and it's a little bit see-through, so I don't think this would do for a dress, but for a t-shirt or a top, yes, definitely. And then this is red. This is like properly red, which again, I don't really wear that much red. And again, I think the camera cut off, I'm afraid. I think the memory card filled up, so I'm afraid you missed my exciting conclusion. But I was just saying that the red fabric is also quite lightweight, so probably will just be for tops and t-shirts. But that is it. I enjoyed getting the mystery bundle. It was fun to see what I would get. I hope you liked watching it too. If you did, please give me a like, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe.